Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I thought in this video on the dev server we would have a look at all of the vehicles that are being used in the Fox 3 test that is going on. If you didn't know, in the game you can go to the events tab on the dev server and get yourself involved in a bit of Fox 3 action with stuff like the AIM 120 flying around. There is a bunch of different vehicles which have access to these active radar homing missiles, and what they're trying to do is test them to see how they would fit in the game in its current setup. So here are the vehicles that have them, and if you want to get involved in the test, make sure to go on the dev server and have a look. The first one is for America, and it is the F-16. This is the F-16 Block 50 specifically, and it has access to 6 AIM 120As that you can see here. Now remember, a lot of these models are kind of copied over. You can see here that it actually says the AIM 120B on this, which will be something that you'll see quite a lot of. And in the modifications tab, it actually shows you the overall stats of the thing, which once again will be very similar to a lot of the other ones, if not completely copied. So you can see here the AIM 120A. It has a lock range of 16 kilometers, launch range of 80 kilometers, max speed of 4 Mach, and then 40G overload with an 80-second missile guidance system. Pretty good overall, not too shabby at all for this vehicle. So starting off strong with the AIM 120A. Then you have the South African Gripen. So the South African Gripen actually has the R-Data air-to-air missile, which is a South African missile. Now, once again, this actually has the same model as the AIM 120B, as you can see here. So they haven't modeled in the Data yet, but this is obviously a vehicle they're looking to add it to, which is kind of cool. And if you have a look at the stats of the Data itself, it's basically the same as the AIM 120. The only difference is the mass, I believe, is slightly different, but also the missile guidance time is a little bit different too. But overall, they're basically the same. So this is the British kind of one that they're adding in, which is obviously for South Africa, but in the British tech tree. The Soviets get a MiG-29 SMT. This one actually has access to different looking missiles, the R-77, which you can see here. They have quite interesting backs on them. You can see them sat here, and obviously look completely different to the AIM 120. Overall, pretty cool missiles at the end of the day, and there's 6 of them on this MiG-29 SMT. They do have incredibly similar stats to all of the other ones. The major difference is these ones seem to be quite larger and have, once again, very similar missile guidance time and other things, but they have a lot more TNT equivalent inside, so they'll make a bigger boom once they actually get closer to the target. So you can also see their front aspect shoot down, ARH, IOG, DL, and also quite large once again. They're big boomers, these ones, and they're on the MiG-29. And they look really cool at the end of the day. The Chinese offering is the J8F, and this one gets the PL12 alongside the PL8s. Now, once again, the PL12, I'm pretty sure this is an AMRAAM copy, or at least the look of it is. I might be wrong about that. It may be completely different, but at least to me, it looks kind of like it. Obviously, in general, you know, I'm not exactly great at noting what these missiles look like, but it does look kind of different to the other ones, so maybe it is a different type. But yeah, the PL12 is in the house. This one is another active radar homing missile. It has a lot of the same stats as previous ones, apart from the missile guidance time is 80 seconds now, and the maximum overload is 38 Gs. It's nearly 200 kilos as well, so quite a big boy. And then also the TNT equivalent of about 12 kilos. So you can see all of these missiles are slightly different from each other. Even if they do look very similar, they're obviously trying to add a lot of them in at the same time, just to kind of, you know, make it so these ones are a little bit more balanced than usual. For France, you have the Mirage 2000 5F, and this one has the Mikas on it, the Mika EMs, but they are in the same model as the AIM 120. Once again, you can see, so they're not modeled in physically, at least. Their actual stats, so you can bring 6 of them, and they're 112 kgs, so quite a lot lower than some of the other ones. They have a bigger maximum overload though of 50 Gs, a launch range of 50 kilometers, and also a very small TNT equivalent of 4.74 kilos. So the missile guidance time is also 70 seconds. I'm guessing the idea is that you have to be pretty accurate with these ones compared to some of the others, and then, you know, you can have a bit of fun with them. But overall, these Mekas, stat-wise, are kind of interesting, but also at the same time, their body isn't in yet, so hopefully at some point we can see that. And last but not least, you have the Barak 2. Or the F-16D Block 40 Barak 2. This is the Israeli version of its active radar homing platform, and it has the Derby air-to-air missiles, which is kind of cool. They still look like M120s though, so still not fully modeled. The Derby, which you can see here, it's very similar to, once again, all the other ones, but slightly different. TN2 equivalent of only 8 kilos, a good missile guidance time though, and around about 120 kilos. So you can see that there are slight differences between a lot of these missiles, and if you want to give them a go, make sure to go onto the dev server, and basically the place where you find these ones is if you go to events and tournaments, testing of medium range missile with active radar homing seekers. So check that out, get involved, you know, make sure to give your opinions, especially when it comes to the forum stuff, so you can have a say on where the future of the game goes. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. I'd like to thank Schnitzel Stroker, Brendan Quinn, Vilneus, Character Fuel, Carrion Crow, Nicholas Richardson, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, B. Young, Opium Prime, Masonocrat, Lafouche, Alan Hacker, Sem Arslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.